Hello and welcome to Might Be Awesome. My name is Sam Basher.
And I'm DJ Wildred.
Today we're talking about Zombieland, Double Tap.
No, you're talking about Zombieland, Double Tap.
No, unless you guys already saw it, you can let us know what you thought down below. But today, we're going to be diving into it. Quickie synopsis: Columbus, Tallahassee, Wichita, and Little Rock move to the American heartland as they face off against evolved zombies, fellow survivors, and the growing pains of the snarky makeshift family. Aww.
Boy, are they snarky.
This is starring Zoey Deutch, Abigail Breslin, Emma Stone, Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Rosario Dawson, and of course Luke Wilson, Thomas Middleditch.
Of course,
they're in the trailer, they're in the posters, they're being promoted.
They're there.
And this is a follow up to the 2009 hit. So it's been a minute, and revisiting this has been. I mean, the first film was. Some people call it like a sleeper hit. I feel like it has a cult following to it.
Well, that's the thing, as I heard it was a cult following, but okay, now to be fair, I was in the college crowd at the time when this movie came out. So in my crowd, it wasn't a sleeper hit. It was just a hit. It was just a popular, fun movie.
I think it just wasn't discussed. It didn't get into like magazines and stuff. It was well beloved by everyone who did see it.
Yeah.
And then Ruben Fleischer, the director of the first film and of Venom, is back to direct this, and the writers behind Deadpool are back to write this once again. So it's cool that the creative team's back, and they got all the actors back to revisit this world.
It would have been a funny joke, because when we were sitting there, the banner said from the director of Venom and the writers. It should have been from the writers of the Zombieland TV show, from that Amazon pilot.
Anybody watch that one? Let us know in the comments down below.
Yeah, let us know what you thought.
So, beep boop. For the first one, I was a huge fan. I got to see it with a friend, and it was one of those. It was when I was like kind of starting to discover like, the unique things you could do with film. It was around the same time that Scott Pilgrim came out, and so it's just like you seeing. For me, of course, there's interesting films that were out there before, but it was finally like my time to start discovering that, and this was one of those films where it's not like a slam dunk, but it is really entertaining, and it was creatively put together, and it was just a fun little side tour from the entire zombie explosion that we had right before we went into the 2010s, and still today. There's even a joke about it in the movie. So going into Zombieland 2, I was nervous because Gangster Squad I wasn't really a fan of. Venom I wasn't really a fan of. There were parts
60 minutes or less, or whatever that movie was.
I did see that one. I didn't with Aziz and Jesse Eisenberg. I wasn't the biggest fan of that movie either, and I wanted to like it more because it was like, this creative team's back together and more actors, whatever. Like I thought it was going to be better, but I ended up not really liking it. So I was nervous about this movie going into it. But I'll get to my thoughts in a second. But what was your history with this?
I really loved it when it first came out. I really enjoyed it. I own it. I was a big fan, and I even didn't hate the Amazon Prime pilot, all that stuff. But it's been 10 years. Mm-hmm. I'm a different person. College age is different from having a wife and a dog and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And I was worried that maybe I've moved past Zombieland. Maybe Zombieland's moved past me. Maybe we're just two ships passing the night. The time has passed. And some of those feelings lingered at the opening moments of the movie. Like, wow, maybe it's just not time for this anymore. And then it kind of hit its stride. And it's like, actually, I'm genuinely entertained by the experience we're having right now.
I think it's fair to say that I was pretty nervous. Or I'll say that I was nervous for this movie. I don't know if you were. But we heard about this movie a long time ago, and we knew the release date, and there was like no posters, there was no news, there was nothing about this movie until like a few months ago, and so that makes it sound like further along. Like it was very short notice for this movie to come out, for its marketing, and with its trailers and everything. So I was getting nervous. The trailers I was on board with, but I'm like, something feels like you got a really good trailer house, and that doesn't mean that the movie's really put together. I, as well, was thoroughly entertained by this movie. Right now on Rotten Tomatoes, where's it
so at Rotten Tomatoes, we're looking at a 76%. The critics' consensus is Zombieland Double Tap makes up for a lack of fresh brains with an enjoyable reunion that recaptures the spirit of the original and adds a few fun twists.
Yeah, no, it definitely recaptures that feeling I had when I was in the theater watching it for the first time. And also, big shout out to the graphic department that puts together the fun text that gets knocked over by
the
zombies and
lists
stuff.
and everything.
All your rules and everything, and that was fun revisiting that. I liked this world, and mainly because of the characters that inhabit it and all the new additions from the new cast.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. I know there are some trepidations from some people watching the trailer where we have this new like Valley Girl character who seems irritating, and that's the point. That's the point of the character. And I will say that Zoey Deutch gives an amazing performance, and I ended up really enjoying her.
Yeah, it's very much like she shows up, and it very much feels like a 2009 joke, and it very much feels like the stock Valley Girl character. But her performance really elevates it. Like, compared to the other new characters, Berkeley, who kind of doesn't, like, he kind of just is the joke that he is. And so Zoey Deutch's performance in that turned her into one of my favorite characters in the movie.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy, for the most part, the doppelganger joke was pretty solid.
That was another joke that from the trailers, I'm like, oh, this is going to be rough. Mm-hmm. And then we get into it, it's actually really funny.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Thomas Middleditch.
Yeah, exactly.
The dude. I'm a big fan. So I was happy that he was in this movie, and I liked the rapport of all those characters together. And revisiting this world, it didn't feel stale. It just felt like we're just exploring just another little corner of it. There's still a wider world out there, but we don't really need to know how it functions, besides the way that Jesse Eisenberg sets up the rules of how he interprets the world. So he has your rules and your fun joke of zombie kill of the week or zombie kill of the year or zombie kill of the whatever, and we still get jokes
which is
like
never
that.
not funny.
Oh, it's so funny, and it's there's one specific one that they show. It's amazing, but it's also very Looney Tunes, and you're like, it's got some Looney Tunes logic to it. Yes. And also the way they do some very light world building in this. You're not finding out how like the government's doing whatever. You're not figuring out this, or this. This
is just the way the world is now.
Yeah, it's a Wild West again. It's zombie apocalypse. But some people are able to live, and they're fine. And also I love the explanation of like why there's power. It's like, sure, that doesn't make sense, but whatever, don't care. Overall, though, I really enjoyed it. I thought the performances from Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone were great. I did like Abigail Breslin, but she was not utilized as much as I thought she was going to be.
She's kind of she basically kind of serves as like the MacGuffin of the movie in some ways, but Rosario Dawson is always a great addition in anything ever, always. I will say that the opening, as we kind of like reestablish, feels a little bit redundant because we already had the first movie, even though it was 10 years ago. And then some elements of the ending feel kind of like, whatever, it's the ending now, so we just got to tie some of these bows, you know what I mean? And wrap it up. And I think maybe a very enjoyable movie, if they were a little tighter with stuff, like we were talking about after we saw it, that it goes through the trouble of introducing new types of zombies that it then does not utilize at all.
Not really. No.
Which feels like a missed opportunity.
Yeah, in the trailer they talk about them like, oh, things are evolving, and they kind of hint to like, oh, this is how things are changing, and then they fully just don't do anything with most of them. Yeah. And which is a bummer, which is disappointing.
It feels like a missed opportunity, especially since when you think about the movie after, you're like, oh, there's definitely ways you could have like put them in there. You could have facilitated that a little bit more. And I think it would have made the movie a little bit tighter and a little bit better.
Yeah. And since they went through all the work of explaining them in the beginning, it felt like maybe they were in an edit of this. Maybe they weren't. Maybe this was the plan all along. But that felt underutilized. And sometimes there were things that were meant to be funny that I didn't laugh particularly. There were other people in the theater that were laughing very hard at all the jokes. And there were jokes that genuinely like killed me. They were amazing, and there were whole sequences that I thoroughly enjoyed.
There is a mid-credit scene for those waiting for it, and might be one of the funniest things I've seen all year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So just stick around for that.
Oh yeah, and I don't want to say more because you don't need to.
Nope.
You just go ahead and sit there, stay there, enjoy it. I think it's probably the funniest part of the movie for me, but also it's one of the funniest things I've seen in a movie all year too. So
so it's I mean that's not a knock to the rest of the movie. It's just really good.
It's like all the effort went into making this scene, and it's really wonderful. So I hope you guys enjoy the movie and check it out. What would you rate this movie?
So it's been 10 years. Well, that makes it easy. Yep. We'll just do 10, huh? So I'd probably give this a solid 8, like a solid B. I found it very entertaining. I actually might be one of the most entertained I've been all year, and I would rewatch it. Like I again, going in, I was very nervous because you just don't know if it's going to hold up, the whole concept. And I would want more. It does lend itself to, like, if they could figure out a way to make it work as a TV show. It's like, I think you could spend more time, because it's almost like a Last Man on Earth but with zombies situation. And I think there's merit to that setup. But what about you? What would you rate it?
Honestly, same. It's a solid 8 out of 10. I like a solid B. I Really enjoyed it. There were moments where you kind of felt like the wheels were spinning a little bit, but from the world building to the performances to the new additions and the humor and that mid-credit scene really elevated the movie for me. Not like
it's a good way to leave the movie.
Oh yeah, and it just left a good taste in my mouth when I was walking out of it. And a lot of the other like gags you get with Zombieland, from the kill of the week to other ways that just zombies exist in this world. Yeah, like one zombies, like at one point a tongue gets stuck to something frozen, and like that was a pretty solid bit. I just really enjoyed this movie. I would watch. I would say that the first one is just a little tighter overall.
Oh, yeah. I would agree that the first one's better.
Yeah, but the second one still was a solid installment in the Zombieland franchise. I wouldn't mind another one as well, if they wanted to.
Maybe not 10 years?
Maybe not 10 years.
Maybe not 10 years?
Yeah, maybe a little bit sooner. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I want to hear from you guys. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of the first Zombieland. What are some of your hesitations are, and if you did see it, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Try to stay spoiler free for the people who haven't seen it yet. And of course, you can go ahead and check out Super TV Showdown at patreon.com/onlystupid-answers. That's the show where DJ, Sam, and Roxy watch all the superhero shows, specifically the CW ones, so we can lead up to Crisis on Infinite Earths. Oh boy, they're teasing quite a lot on all of our shows leading up to that. So it's going to be very exciting. We're also going to be talking about Watchmen when that comes out. So don't miss out. So it's $5 a month. You can support us there. And if you want to, you can check out all the other content that we're making over there. But until next time, I'm Sam Basher.
I'm DJ Wooldridge at DJ Talks Trash.
There you go. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.